What's up, family? See the book? All right. Mm. Yeah, it's going to be one of those type of presentations. One of those type of presentations, family. I thank y'all so much for rocking with me. This is Darius Corbin Presents. Welcome to the Mystery School. It's still the home of the esoteric and the metaphysical knowledge. Today's presentation will be the Cloak of Christ, God and the connection to nanotechnology. What can I say? Well, welcome to the age of the Aquarius. Family, we are older now, we are a lot smarter, and most definitely we are a lot more spiritually in tune. And for that reason, you deserve to know a lot more about your past. And you shall. Listen up. This is a tale that I think you all appreciate. Once again, I will be reading from the book Oracle of the Illuminati by William Henry. Oracle of the Illuminati, written by William Henry. You can PDF this book as well. Are you listening up? I'm going to need your attention. This is going to be an amazing one. Hit the like button, dislike button. You be the judge. Since the 13th century invention of eyeglasses by an anonymous inventor in Italy, there has existed the radical idea and heresy by Dark Age church standards, which is why the inventor kept his idea quiet, that the human body is improvable. No longer were humans subject to flaws of the maker or the oppressive control of a corrupt priesthood. Humans were free to choose or select for themselves improvements to their body and to polish the pearl, so to speak. This was an inconvenient time to introduce such a heretical idea. See, the Church of Roma, spelled Roma, the Church of Roma was hung over from a horrific binge of killing during which as many as 1 million peaceful men, women, and children who called themselves Cathars. Now, my Christian folks out there, you know I love you, but you know I go hard on y'all. Pen and pad is needed right now. Cathars, Cathars. These are your early Christians, the ones that kept the work pure. I'm going to read that again. This was an inconvenient time to introduce such a heretical idea. The Church of Roma was hung over from a horrific binge of killing during which as many as 1 million peaceful men, women, and children who call themselves Cathars, or the pure ones, have been gruesomely exterminated in the first European Holocaust, or ethnic cleansing. Dwelling in the patch of paradise that stretches from northern Spain across the southern province of France, they claim to be the direct descendants of the early Gnostic Christians. The Cathars claimed to be the direct descendants of the early Gnostic Christians, many of whom it is claimed fled to southern France to escape the persecution of Nero, that's spelled Nero, and Diocletian. Their aim was the promotion of the pure Gnostic gospel of pure word of Jesus. The scripture provided no justification for a pope. They claimed and they maintained that they possessed the true secret of Christianity, which had been passed to them by direct transmission from the apostles through Jesus. How y'all doing out there? The Cathars called their church Amor, like in Spanish, mi amor, that's Amor, which means love, and claimed they possessed a spiritual technology originally taught by Jesus. Now, when you think of Jesus and you think of that name, you don't really equate technology too much, do you? I don't know. The Cathars called their church amor, which is love, and claimed they possessed a a spiritual technology originally taught by Jesus. Their hearsay meeting choice selection concerned their use of this technology to transform themselves into higher beings. And William Henry goes on to say, today, as I documented in my book, Cloak of the Illuminati, this is the book before this one, a conference of technologies led by Nanotechnology married to DNA is taking this hearsay to the next level and carrying us into a new age of light. A major overhaul of the human body is not only conceivable, it is doable and patentable. 1,000 things that have doomed the fragile human body could change overnight. Listen, nanotechnology focuses on the creation of materials at nearly an atomic level. Nanocomputers are small enough, Nanocomputers are small enough that several hundred of them could fit inside the space of the period at the end of this sentence. Nanotechnology focuses on the creation of materials at nearly an atomic level. Nanocomputers are small enough that several hundred of them could fit inside the space of the period at the end of this sentence. As I write these words on October 17, 2003, as I write these words on October 17, 2003, the Bush administration requested $849 million of seed money to fund the United States. Nanotechnology Initiative, a report attached to the budget touts nano as the next industrial revolution. This is a mass understatement. This initiative is an invisible reckoning, a tsunami wave of change that shrinks technology almost to the vanishing point. It will make science fiction reality. According to the National Science Foundation, nanotechnology would be a $1 trillion industry by 2015. And what year is this? 2021, right? They said, according to the National Science Foundation, nanotechnology will be a $1 trillion industry by 2015. Every top government agency is involved in this revolution. However, the Pentagon is the leading force in this endeavor. Nanotechnology is essential to winning the war on terror, says the Office of Science and Technology, a war the Pentagon believes will last decades. Ambitious plans are in the works. Just before the U.S. led rocking and lonely occupation of the cradle of civilization, came an announcement from MIT News of a revolutionary idea from the heads at the Pentagon and MIT. Now, if you guys don't know what MIT is, definitely Google MIT and see what type of institution that is. It blows Harvard, Yale, and all that out the water. An MIT newly baptized Institute for Soldier Nanotechnology, ISN, launched with an initial grant of $50 million from the Pentagon and another $40 million from the industry. ISN will use nanotechnology to create the super soldier of the future. It's time for y'all to listen up right now. See, for me, everybody is focused on this person getting shot down, this person getting killed, vaccination, anti-vaccination. Behind that curtain, behind this veil that we're being seen with this illusion, they are really putting and have been putting on this work. And we are so focused on this small, mundane stuff that behind us and under our eyelids are being this superpower, supernatural, cosmo energy that we probably won't recognize till it's too late, some of us. The Pentagon and MIT plan to revolutionize the battle uniform worn by the U.S. soldiers' forces by cloaking soldiers in a chameleon-like skin coated with smart nanotechnology materials that could help shield soldiers against bullets and chemical agents and monitor their life support systems. Fibers could be used carrying fluids, emit signals, or change shape or color, all in the same piece of clothing. MIT's, and I quote, coat of many colors or miracle garment will have microbe killing power and will even heal those who are wounded. Another component, the number one request of soldiers, said MIT, is that it will be lightweight and waterproof. Soldiers want to be amphibious. They want to be able to swim underwater and whatnot for a very long time. They plan on embedding, and I quote, exomuscles in this fish skin, giving the soldiers Spider-Man-like strength. The soldiers will also wear exo boots that would build up a charge of energy so that, if needed, a vertical leap of 20 feet would be possible. An even more advanced suit made of fabric as thin as a wetsuit and strong as steel, loaded with self-reconfigurable nanotechnology robots designed so that they can change their external shape without human intervention, is possible with this technology. Now, I know it's sounding like a Transformer movie, some type of CIA movie, but I need y'all to listen to this and get on point and get on game with this, because it's all connecting to us and it's all connecting to the past, present, and future, as you're hearing. So thank you. Linked to the eyes in the sky and directly wired to the net, this E-Soldier, and that's E-Soldier, this E-Soldier I call the MIT E-Man, E equals all wired or computer-related technology, will be armed with the lethal power of newly developed electromagnetic weapons of focused mass destruction. At the same time, reports the Village Voice, morning after pills are being developed to inhibit the effects of hardwired fear and softening any possible remorse of the soldiers' actions. The $170 million budget request for the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency in fiscal 2005 includes $120 million for exploring and developing technological breakthroughs, and I quote, that exist at the intersection of biology, information technology, and microphysical sciences. That cyborg or MIT E-Man technology, according to the agency budget request. This is only the beginning of the development of a fully programmable remote control superhuman warrior, a new master race. And one more thing, the MIT E-Man or Mighty Man will be capable of manipulating light to render the soldier all but invisible. That's right, the super cloak will have fleshly scales so that, like water, the uniform will blend into or scale to whatever background might be given the soldier a cloaking capability, like the aliens portrayed in the movies Signs and Predator. The MIT E-Man will be a cloak killing machine. This doped up E-fire spitting, bullet stopping, building jumping Jack Flash of a super soldier, the MIT E-Man gives new meaning to the term dressed to kill. He and she will appear with the space of the next 2 decades, say MIT. Not since Pallas, and that's spelled Pallas, Athena, the Greek goddess of war and wisdom, donned her helmet of invisibility, also worn by Hermes, took up her Gorgon shield that turned men to stone, and shook her spear of light, has the world seen such a figure. Until the new super soldier or super zombie is presented to us in a carefully storyboarded campaign like the president as a flight suit clad cowboy making a Top Gun landing on the deck of an aircraft carrier proclaiming Independence Day and victory over the aliens, most will not appreciate the enormity of this development in human evolution. However, once this Trojan horse leaves its first nano footprint on the soil of our bright blue apple as it leaps over tall buildings, things will never be the same. The MIT E-Man project is part of an even larger government initiative. Coinciding with the announcement of the MIT E-Man came a draft government report saying we will alter human evolution, meaning the human body within 20 years by combining what we know of the embryonic, or that's embryonic, pretty much embryo, and that's EMBRYONIC, by combining what we know of the embryonic crafts of nanotechnology, biotechnology, information technology, and cognitive sciences, the 4 primary 21st century power tools. The building blocks of these power tools are bits, neurons, genes, and atoms. With these power tools, we will create a new and improved human body, a new product of the human evolution. The 405-page report sponsored the U.S. National Science Foundation and Commerce Department. Conversion Technologies for Improving Human Performance calls for a broad-based research program to improve human performance, leading to telepathy, machine-to-human communication, amplified personal sensory devices, and enhanced intellectual capacity. It recommends heavily promoting the concept of the hive mind, the brave new civilization. Now, I know that was a mouthful, and I hope y'all got a lot about that. And we're about to bring this all around back full circle now. This is what's been working on. And they said in 2015, it was $1 million, a $1 million investment in 2005. We in 2020. All right, let's go. Return to Babylon. Soon after reading the announcement of the U.S. government's pursuit of the MIT E-Man technology came reports of U.S. soldiers entering the ancient gateway of Babylon. I keep thinking how the Pentagon's quest for the coat of many colors uncannily parallels the ancient quest for the cloak or skin of the mighty man by the ancient Sumerian king Nimrod. Nimrod, that's spelled Nimrod, also Nmrd or Nibiru Rod or Nimrod when the vowels are added, was a 2nd millennium BC Sumerian king who called himself, and I quote, mighty man by the grace of Yahweh, and created an army of mighty men. According to the Bible, because we never leave the Bible, we never left the Bible. According to the Bible, Nimrod claimed royal descent from the Anunnaki gods of Iraq. They are the shining ones, the mysterious angels of the pre-flood civilization described in Genesis 6, the Hebrews called watchers, who gave birth to the sons of the gods or goddesses, the wearing Nephilim giants also described in Genesis 6, and I quote, they were the mighty men who are of old. The people of the Shem, that's spelled S-H-E-M, renowned Hiward. Though they were around at the time of Adam, it appears that this race escaped the catalysm that destroyed the first race of man who interbred with the Nephilim. Numerous researchers led by Stitchin claim these mighty ones possess advanced technology, including military technology, which says Stitchin they employed in wars between gods and men. Nimrod's title of mighty man was a title bestowed by Enlil, the Anunnaki lord of the command or word. Now, for y'all who haven't seen my channel or not introduced to my other channel, the Darius Corbin channel on YouTube, I got stories on Anunnaki, and it breaks down Enlil and his brother. We're going to talk about him in a minute. The Anunnaki lord of the command or word. Upon kings appointed by him. Let me read that again. Nimrod's title, Mighty Man, was a title bestowed by Enlil, the Anunnaki lord of command or word, upon kings appointed by him. This means by which Nimrod became a mighty man is described in the book of Jasher, and that's Jasher, the addendum to the Old Testament mentioned in the book of Joshua and Samuel, but lost or banned by the church. And the book of the generations of man, which says the skins that God made for Adam and his wife went to Enoch after their death. Then to Methuselah, that's spelled Methuselah. Then to Noah, who survived the flood. Then Ham stole them and gave them to Cush, or Nimrod. Stitchin asserts that the Anunnaki lord of technology, Ea or Enki, and that's Enlil's brother, manufactured the human body. He also created the skin transmitted to Nimrod, who became strong when he put on, and I quote, magic garments. Jasher 27, 1, verse 111 says that Esau, the brother of Jacob, kills Nimrod and takes Adam's skins. My Bible folks, I know y'all know that. Where you at now? Let's love. This skin or garment of Adam was said to be a garment of light that came from the celestial realms. The legends of the Jews assured us that putting on this cloak of light worked for Nimrod in a big way. He got tremendous results. It was by virtue of owning this garment that Nimrod was able to claim power to rule over the world earth, and that he sat in his tower while men came and worshiped him. This tower built in Babylon was called the Babel. All right, now it's about to get real. My church folks, my wisdom folks, listen. Thank you for watching, by the way. This tower built in Babylon was called the Babel, the gate to God, and was the symbol of a human revolt or rebellion, which led to the building a fortified tower that reached into the heavens in the course of staging revenge against the Hebrew god Yahweh. Can we stop and back up? First of all, for my church folks, respect, thank y'all for watching. First and foremost, my religious people, you know about the Tower of Babel, right? Babel. Hold up. I gotta read this again. This tower built in Babylon was called the Babel, the gate to God, and was the symbol of a human revolt or rebellion, which led to the building a fortified tower that reached into the heavens in the course of staging revenge against the Hebrew god Yahweh, the Sumerian god Enlil, lest he flood the world again. And Yahweh is the God that you go to church and praise. I told y'all, you got to do your research. Study the Numa Elish, and you'll see who Yahweh really is. Let's keep moving right quick. I ain't got too much time. After Yahweh destroyed this tower, your God destroyed this tower because the people were revolting against him because they knew who he really was. You're not knowing yet, but you should if you watch my channel who this God is. But come on, let's go, Corbin. After Yahweh destroyed this tower and separated humanity by language, the meaning of the word Babel was changed to nonsense, confusion. The secrets of the gate and the cloak of the mighty men went underground. While some may dismiss the correlation between the modern MIT E-man and the skin of the mighty man of the past as merely literally contrivance or coincidence, such a view does not take into account the way in which the archetypical symbols, dramas, and figures of history are recycled, if not repeating. We accept that this happens in symbol-rich Hollywood when a classic movie is remade, but it happens in the real world of human consciousness, too, according to a theory of archetypes introduced by Swiss physician and Gnostic champion Dr. C.G. Jung. And if you haven't studied Dr. Carl Jung's work, that's J.E. Carl J.U.N.G. work, the research it. It is important that we recognize the appearance of these archetypes, for their ancient prototypes can provide sure guidance. The power of archetypal myth is enormous. Whether they realize it or not, the Pentagon and those who control its activity is on the leading edge of a profound development in human evolution that, if we're not careful, will make gods out of mere humans. With this possibility in mind, in The Cloak of the Illuminati, the book that he wrote before this one, he says, I ventured into the sea of memories, the mythological realm, and fished out additional examples of quests for ancient power skins or cloaks of the illumined ones. And I'm going to show this picture. This is the mystery school right here. I'm about to say, I don't know how long this video go, but I'm going to go along this video go because you're going to get this knowledge. Let me see, make sure y'all see that again. This is ancient work, family, that you're not seeing in your Bible. Look at that. I'm going to read what that is in a minute. One of the most interesting parallels the skin of the MIT E-man draws with ancient power cloaks concerns the cloak or pallium, and that's Pallium, conferred upon Elisha by Elijah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Elijah and Elisha were to the Old Testament what Moses and Jesus was to the New Testament. and I'm pretty sure some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But it says one of the more interesting parallels the skin of the MIT E-Man draws with the ancient power cloaks concerns the cloak or pallium, Pallium, conferred upon Elisha by Elijah just before his departure to the heavens in a whirlwind, and it says 800 BC. And that picture that you guys seen a while ago, under it, it says the 12th century Winchester Psalter illustrates the baptism of Jesus by John the Baptist, while an angel waits holding a cloak symbolizing Jesus' new life through baptism. The key to the pallium is to know that it transferred or transmitted Elijah's prophetic or oracular power to Elisha, who was appointed to replace Elijah as a leader of the prophets or oracles and to complete the spiritual mission of Elijah. The illumination from the 12th century Winchester Bible on the previous page illustrates the belief that this cloak or robe of glory was transmitted to Jesus. Webster says Illuminati is a term for a newly baptized Christian initiate. When Jesus dons the cloak of light provided by John, he becomes an illumined one. According to Christian tradition, Elijah later appeared as John the Baptist. That's what I meant to say. Elijah and Elisha are either compared to Moses and John the Baptist or Christ and John the Baptist. But the Old Testament version, some of y'all know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to twist it. I'm going to keep this word going. The whirlwind isn't where I'm at. When Jesus dons the cloak of light provided by John, he becomes an illumined one. According to the Christian tradition, Elijah later appears as John the Baptist, and Christians believe he will return as the herald of the second coming. Perhaps he'll seek his cloak. The whirlwind is a key story element linking Elijah's pallium to the goddess Mary, and that's Mary with an I. Mary's Pala garment. The word Apala, note stitching, is the name given to the cloak of the illumined goddess Mary, and that's Mari, Mary in Syria. Pala means miracle, wonderful, shining, magnificent. Once again, Pala, P-A-L-A, means miracle, wonderful, shining, magnificent, hitting, and to vibrate and to hurl, according to the 19th century symbolicist Major General J.G.R. Forlong. Mary wore the Pala garment along with her Shugura, and that's spelled Shugurra, helmet that Stitchin says took her far into the universe. The International Standard Bible Encyclopedia connects the etymology of Nephilim with the garment, claiming Nephilim comes from Naphal, and that's spelled Niphal, and the verb pala, meaning to be extraordinary, i.e., extraordinary being. This mysterious cloak of light is the magnificent miracle garment worn in modified form by the most extraordinary beings, the spiritual giants of their day, including Osiris, Enki, Mary, Nimrod, Enoch, Joseph of the coat of many colors, Aaron, Elijah, John the Baptist, Jesus, and others. Each of these figures displayed gigantic feathers, many of which were associated with their clothing. They were also considered masters of the four divine forces of elements: earth, air, fire, and water. The general term for these figures was oracle. According to E.A. Wallace Budge, a few of the many powers possessed by the cloak-clad oracle, including healing the sick, cloaking his companions in an incorruptible body, manipulation of matter, and predicting the future. This was a cloak they put on, family. A cloak. John Rosner, Ph.D., has claimed the oracle practiced a divine alchemy, the goal of which was self-transformation and the transformation of humanity towards a divine state of being. and to become for a time as mighty as the original possessor of the power. The apotheosized or divinized human heroes, the oracles, were described as new beings. They are the gods and goddesses of the four divine elements of earth, air, fire, and water. It is synchronistic the way the four elements of the ancient world match up with the four power tools of the 21st century science: genes, bits, neurons, and atoms. It is as if the archetypal four divine forces of the ancients are being retooled or revealed in our new age of light. Archetypically speaking, these four power tools coincide with the four books of magic assigned to the oracles of oracles. The Oracle of Oracles, which is Thoth or Hermes, who also wore the cloak. We are told in the magical text that these are the titles of the four books: the Old Book, the Book to Destroy Men, the Great Book, and the Book to Be as God. And I'm going to stop there today. I'm going to stop there. This has been the Cloak of Christ, God and a connection to nanotechnology. This book, I'm going to give you a lot of work from this book, because I told you I'm the son of the Mother God. We are now in the energy of the Mother God. She returns. And for some of you who still call yourself Christians in the age of Aquarius, you guys have to get your spiritually shit right. They have told you so many lies. I am here. So many more of us are here to be the ones that wake each other up in this time, because you have spiritual powers, spiritual abilities that have been locked down, DNA strains that have been locked and have been spliced. It is time for you to know who you are and who the Mother God is. Next presentation, I'm going to drop it on you seriously so you can wake up and get to understand your divine powers. Family, this is a powerful time we're in now. There are so many people in different planets and different realms watching us. We are the show now. Let's give them a great one and show them that we are and we do have the ability to reach those worlds that we have long time visited. Thank you so much, family. I appreciate you. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Peace and love.